Hello, it's Judith here. And today I'm going to talk about social anxiety, which I've done earlier this year, but decided to repeat it because it is definitely on the increase. It always was one of the more frequent fears that I saw, but like the health anxiety I talked about last week, it is on the increase. For people who struggle being in relatively large groups of people, particularly if they're people they don't know well, lockdown was a godsend. No longer did they have to make excuses or go to events and feel really, really uncomfortable. They could stay at home. For people with social anxiety, home is the safe place. And depending on how bad it is, and like the other fears and phobias, it gets worse generally if untreated. Home is the safe place, and I'd really rather not leave at all. And I will do so, as I say, with a limited number of people, but otherwise, no thank you. Lockdown was amazing. But of course, it made it harder for them to come out and mingle after we'd got through however many 3 lockdowns. And other people found how nice it was to be at home and not have to mix with people. And so people who didn't have social anxiety before COVID are now more reluctant, sometimes a lot more reluctant than they were to socialise. So what are people with social anxiety? What's the fear all about? Many people say to me, I'm afraid I'm going to do something stupid. They pretty much all say, I feel as if everybody is judging me. Hence the doing something stupid, because then they really will judge you. But they're judging what I'm wearing, how I look, how I speak, all of those things. So they feel very, very much judged by others. And they will always have an escape route. They will always know where the door is. And you know, if they're smokers, they'll go outside a lot. If they're not smokers, they'll possibly go to the toilet a lot. They may not stay very long. So, that, you know, they're relatively easy to spot. And going back to the escape route, this, I'm afraid, is very much our old friend, fight or flight in operation. For whatever reason, they have developed a fear of crowds, large groups, other people they don't know well or at all. And for them, it is a true fight-flight response. So if they stay, they're uncomfortable, they may actually experience panic attacks or some of the symptoms of panic attacks. So they'll be breathing fast, their heart will be beating fast, their palms will be clammy. And as I say, they'll always know, because their choice is flight. They don't want to be there and fighting how they're feeling. They want to be at home. So they will always know where the nearest door is, and they will find reasons for going through it or leaving early, as I say. What are some examples to help? Somebody I knew who couldn't cross a room, say in a hotel or a restaurant, to meet friends because of the walking through. They weren't going to be sitting on their own. They were going to meet a group of friends, but to have to walk from the door past other people was impossible. People who don't like going to parties, or when they're at parties, don't want to mix or mingle, and they often appear very rude, you know, or they are worried that they will appear rude. If other people are enjoying themselves, they probably don't notice. So for some people, it's really hard to mix with people when they don't know them, to just go up to a group of people and say hello, or join in a conversation. So the whole thing is agony. And although it's called social anxiety, it doesn't just affect social life, it affects work life. So the social things that are organised for work, even if it's their own work and not their partner's, where there will be lots of strangers, even if it's the people they work with, out of the familiar work setting, with perhaps their colleagues' partners present, it will be a nightmare. And if the job involves going on training courses or conferences or whatever with larger groups of people, no. So it can in fact affect your comfort at work and more importantly perhaps for some, your progression at work, because you're not able to do the things and be the confident person in front of, say, senior management that perhaps you would like to be or need to be. And as I say, it only gets worse, it never gets better. Like all of these fears and phobias, without treatment, generally they get worse and people do less and less. But there is hope. There is very definitely hope, because like the other fears and phobias, it's very treatable. And, you know, without boasting, my success rate is pretty much 100%. And, you know, I can guarantee, whereas I can't with some of the other things I worked with, I can guarantee that if you're suffering from social anxiety, I can help you. And either remove it altogether or get you to a point where you are able to do it with a reasonable degree of comfort. And then the more you do it, the better it gets. Same as me with fear of flying. The very first time I flew, after not having flown for a long time, it was very uncomfortable. And then gradually it got more and more comfortable. Until now, I positively enjoy it. So I want to help people enjoy social activity. I want to help people be able to do what they need to do at work to be comfortable and, if necessary, you know, achieve promotions, improvements in their career, etc. And it's very easy, very, very easy, and relatively quick. 3 to 4 sessions for most people. So if you're suffering from social anxiety, if it's affecting your enjoyment of life or your progress at work, or if you know somebody who is and you are struggling to get them out and about, then come talk to me, because I can solve it. It's easy. It really is. That doesn't mean that I don't understand how awful it is, but just there is a way of solving it very easily and very quickly. So please talk to me. Get in touch. Email, messaging of any kind, or just pick up the phone. If I'm here, I'm happy to talk to people, and if I'm busy with a client, I'll get back to you. So that's it for this week, and until next week, take care of yourself as always, and I'll see you soon. Bye.